Okay, so let's say we wanted to graph the cosine of 2 theta equals r. Well, I guess the first question we'd need to ask ourselves is, what is it? Well, let's see. It has a 2 theta inside a cosine, no addition subtraction, so it must be a rose curve. So then that means the next question we have to ask is, how many petals does it have? Well, now that's an excellent question. It's even, so that means that we have to double the coefficient of theta, so it's going to be 2 times 2 or 4. Oh, poor little flower, I guess we had one too many. So then that leads us now to the next question of how long is each one of those petals? Well, that has to do with the leading coefficient in front of cosine, and that's going to be just 1 unit, because I didn't see a number in front, so that means it must be that hidden phantom 1. Now we need to figure out how far apart those 4 petals are. Well, those 4 petals, their maximums are really referred to as how far apart they will be visually. Now this isn't going to mean that in order to find those maximums we're going to be necessarily plugging in each of these angular values, but visually that's where they're going to be seen. Well, they're evenly spaced, so that means we're going to take 360 degrees divided by the number of petals, which is 4. So visually, they're going to be 90 degrees, or pi over 2 if you feel like being in radian mode, apart. So now, let's see. I need to figure out where one of those maximums occur. Well, a maximum is going to be when the cosine's maximum, so that means I set equal to 1. And then, of course, the cosine of 2 theta is going to be equal to 1 at 2 pi, for example. So I divided by 2, got my pi, and that means that the maximum is going to be at 1 comma pi. Now it's usually best to put it as that polar coordinate pair, so 1 comma pi instead of just saying pi is a better way of saying it. So now let's get down to graphing. So I'm going to draw my axes. I'm going to place my 4 maximums. Now I'm going to need to plot one additional point. So I picked pi over 6. Then when I plugged in and evaluated cosine of 2 times pi over 6, it can be 1/2. Placing each of those values at their appropriate angle. So for example, 30 degrees I put at 1/2 unit along that radial. And then I reflected across the one petal and then across each additional petal, connecting the dots, getting my lovely little 4-petaled curve. Nice happy little flower this time, didn't have to erase any of its petals, and I am set.